Good Sunday, good Sunday, good Sunday. It's yo Reverend Rackers with the DP Ministries, here to wish y'all a good Sunday. Had to turn the podium around tonight because it's dark outside and I couldn't get that light streaming in, so I had to work with what light we got. So first of all, again, I'd like to welcome y'all and say good Sunday. It's been a while since the Reverend did a new video for you. Since Halloween. Just did the quick Halloween video. Haven't really done a Reverend Rackers video in a few weeks. So first of all, we got to talk about the 9-0 Kansas City Chiefs. Got a bye week this week. Next week, we're going to beat up on those horse-faced ass Broncos. We're going to sack the hell out of Peyton Manning. Going to make Peyton wish he retired. Yes, we are. Also got to give a big shout out to MU, who destroyed Kentucky last week, or this week, 48-17. 2 games left for MU, and they're 9-1, number 8 in the nation. That's what I'm talking about. So, the first thing the Reverend's got to talk about today is Hallmark. Always puts out a holiday ornament every year. Well, this year, Hallmark's decided that they're going to change words in a classic Christmas song for their holiday ornament. They're using Deck the Halls on a red sweater. And everybody knows Deck the Halls. It should say, Don we now our gay apparel. Nothing wrong with that. Gay means happy or fun. Look it up in the dictionary. Hallmark, in all their infinite wisdom, has decided to change gay to fun. So on the shirt, it now says, Don we now our fun apparel. Now, I don't understand why they had to change it. I don't know if Hallmark's anti-gay or if they thought that anti-gay people wouldn't buy their ornament. Honestly, I mean, it's Hallmark. I mean, Hallmark and gays should make natural allies for real. I mean, it's Hallmark. You see like middle-aged women and gay men in Hallmark. What the fuck? I think it's kind of messed up. I mean, why are you going to change a holiday tradition of a song just because it's got the word gay in it and it doesn't mean homosexual? It means fun and happy and things. I don't know. I don't like it. Hallmark's an idiot. They should have just left it the same. Now, it's getting cold out, folks. And the Reverend's got to tell you something. Men who wear scarves look ridiculous. I don't care if you're gay or straight. You look ridiculous in a scarf. You're a man. You shouldn't wear scarves. This is not a scarf. This is not up on my face like this because I'm cold. No. It's a fucking preacher's sash thing. It's different. And I don't wear it outside because it's cold. I generally just wear it for these videos or if I'm doing a Reverend deal out in public. So, yeah. Anyway. Men shouldn't wear scarves in public or outside. You look like a sissy. Stop it. You're a man. I mean, wear a fucking face mask or something, but not a scarf. You look silly. Next, the Reverend got Struggles, I Am Struggle CD not too long ago. Y'all need to pick that up. It's Struggle is Waylon Jennings' grandson, and he's a rapper, and he's fucking amazing. Well, on this I Am Struggle CD, he samples a lot of Waylon's stuff, like his songs, and it's fucking awesome. But you can only get it like on iTunes or on Amazon because it's really just Struggle's locked up in prison, and this is no major record release. This is like done with, I mean, it sounds amazing, but it's still done like home studio style, so I mean there's no real record label, you know, so they gotta sell it at a house. And also Chris Christopherson has a new album out. That came out in 2012. I just didn't know about it, but it is awesome. It's called Feeling Mortal. I gotta say, at 80 whatever years old he is, he's older than Willie, and Willie just turned 80. So 82 to 84 probably. Sounds amazing. I mean, it sounds really good. A lot of, you can tell he's dealing with some I'm about to die situations, so, but it's pretty good. I liked it. Now the congregation hit me up this week, and they asked the Reverend if they could ask a couple questions. And I said, sure. You can always ask the Reverend questions. That's why I'm here. I am here for my people. I am here for the DP Ministries. I am here for the congregation. I am even here for you if you're not part of the ministry. If you would just like to ask the Reverend a question, he'll answer it for you. Jamie Burris wants the Reverend, let's get some more light, wants the Reverend to lay in on how I feel about stores being open on Thanksgiving and the people who shop them. Well, first of all, Jamie, Black Friday is a bunch of bullshit. Stores just do that to capitalize on everybody's greed, on I want it now, I want more. This whole American just stifling, smelly bullshit. I mean, corporations and things like that don't give a fuck about us. They just want our money. And now they're going to have special sales on Thanksgiving, not just Black Friday. And what kind of person are you if you're going to go shop instead of being with your family on Thanksgiving? First of all, if the only reason you're going to shop on Black Friday, God forbid I will not be, and not just because I have to work, fuck that, the sales aren't worth all that bullshit. But the only reason you would go out that early is to get shit for your family. So wouldn't you want to spend Thanksgiving with your family? You would think so, but not for all these pretentious cunts that are just trying to save $1. Did you know that most electronics that are on sale on Black Friday in February of the next year, like 2013 Black Friday, February 2014, the prices will be less than the sales on Black Friday, because in February is when all the new electronics and TVs and stuff like that make their debut. There's a little note for y'all. Wait till February to buy your electronics. But really all these stores are trying to capitalize on their greed and your greed. And, you know, if you're going to do it, you're just fucking, I mean, really, Black Friday, whatever. You want to go out and do it, that's on you. But if you're pretentious enough of a cunt to fucking shop on Thanksgiving, you know, double fuck you. Yeah. Shop Black Friday all you want. Thanksgiving's for your family. Now I got another one. From the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul said, Reverend. I said, what? He said, Reverend. I said, what? He said, why do parents get mad at their kids for being bad and acting hyper and not listening, when parents are the one feeding these kids soda and candy just to keep them to shut up? I said, Paul. He said, what? I said, Paul. He said, what? I said, that's a good-ass question, Paul. And the answer to that is, first of all, they got this badass, whiny, shitty kid crying. First of all, they're like this big. They can barely be kids anymore. They're crying and whining, all because you, your entire life, had given them anything they wanted, instead of saying no like a parent. So you're like, oh, yeah, here, have some Reese's, you fat fuck. Have some more soda. Fucking, here's some pixie sticks, snort them some bitches. Here's some Ritalin because you're too hyperactive, but you don't need it, so they're even more hyperactive. And then they get all pissed off when their kids are running around, acting all crazy, acting like a fucking douchebag, because most of the time, it's your fault your kid's a douchebag. You're a shitty parent, and you don't know how to control your kid. So first of all, suck it up, learn to say no, and then maybe your kid won't act like a shitty cocksucker. I hope that answers your question, Paul. People are shitty parents. That's why they let their kids act that way. Oh, I got one from Brother Q. Brother QJ. He said, Reverend. I said, what? He said, Reverend. I said, what? That doesn't ever get old. He said, why do so many men try to make hoes into housewives? I said, QJ, here's the deal. Some of these hoes know how to cook. And some of them, not only do they know how to cook, but they can suck a dick like a champ. They suck it with the balls, too. They do a damn good job. They ride that cock like they're a porn star. And then they make you dinner afterwards. And they're doing all of that to get in your wallet because they're a hoe. Now, when we see that in men, unfortunately, we're kind of stupid sometimes. We see them giving us affection and throwing it down proper like and taking time out for us, rubbing our feet and giving us back rubs and shit like that. And we still know their past, and we know their past is shitty. Now, I know what you're thinking, ladies. Not all you can be judged on your past. And that's true, not all of you can. But 90% of the time, you cannot turn a hoe into a housewife. I just ain't Pretty in Pink or whatever the fuck that movie was with Julia Roberts. Pretty Woman, not Pretty in Pink. Fuck, I can't even watch Pretty in Pink with Snickers anymore. That fucking dude starts tearing up all the time when he watches that movie. Any John Hughes movie, Snickers is like, oh, it's the Breakfast Club. The rich girl gave the poor guy the fucking earrings. Nah, I'm just fucking with you, Snickers. That's actually QJ, because he's like Bender, and he gets the earring from the chick, and he walks away like this, trying to make a whole housewife. No, I'm kidding. Fucking with you. Anyway. You just can't do it, QJ. Unfortunately, no matter how much you want them to, or how much you love them, you just can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Now, the Reverend's got some serious government shit to talk about now. Uncle Whistleblower did it again. Oh, Uncle Whistleblower came up to the Reverend. He sent the Reverend a message, text message, and said, Reverend, I typed back what? He typed back Reverend. I typed back what? Yeah, I even do it during text message. He said you need to look up the DARPA program and DARPA projects. So I'm just going to let you in on a little project that they've got going on. I do got some notes. So if I'm looking down, that's why. So DARPA is working on and perfecting a mind control product. So, what if the government could change people's moral beliefs or stop political dissent through remote control of people's brains? Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, a leaked document reveals that the U.S. government themselves, through DARPA research, has accomplished this. An activist post was recently contacted by an anonymous whistleblower who worked on a secret, ongoing mind control project for DARPA. The aim of the program was to remotely disrupt political dissent and extremists by employing transcentrical magnet stimulation in tandem with sophisticated propaganda-based technology. TMS stimulates the temporal lobe of the brain, with electromagnetic fields. Now that shit's true because when you get near electromagnetic field, you can get like dizzy and you feel off. So anyway, the program was conducted by the Center for Strategic Communication at Arizona State, and DARPA funded this project, and that can be confirmed at the ASU website. The head of the project, Steve Corman, worked extensively in the area of strategic communication as it applies to terrorism and extremists, or what could be called the war of ideas. God forbid we have our own ideas, folks. Corman's latest project, narrating the exit from Afghanistan, and his many presentations made it quite clear and obvious that the mission to shape the narrative and literally change people's minds. Lest one believe it will be contained to overseas extremists? I don't think so. We should keep in mind that the word extremist is increasingly used domestically, if you haven't noticed, Barack. The dissenters of yesterday could easily become the terrorist sympathizers and supporters of political violence tomorrow. They might try to scramble my brain just for telling you about this. Hell, I know I'm on a watch list by now. Probably going to end up in a motherfucking FEMA camp. Now, this DARPA research brings about many ethical questions. Mainly, this research aims to literally induce or disrupt the operations of narratives within the brain. In other words, the research aims to stop individuals from thinking certain thoughts and make others believe in things they normally would not believe. For real. The research has tremendous interrogation possibilities and could potentially be used to more successfully spread propaganda or stop political upheaval into an unsuspecting public. I think it's about time we all rise up and do something about this, folks. Are we going to let this shit go on, and how long are we going to let it go on for? What does this mean? It means that if the research succeeds, and it did, the government will be able to modify how a person thinks. They can strap you to a chair, put a machine on your head, turn off parts of your brain, and introduce persuasive messages and make you believe it. Furthermore, through extensive research, they may be able to replicate the machine's brain-disrupting functions simply through carefully crafting and researched persuasive messages and propaganda. They can use brain imaging to determine which portions of the brain are active when a particular message is presented to an individual, and if the right portions are activated. They know the message will circumvent one's mental reasoning and lead to almost automatic acceptance. Automatic acceptance. Are you ready to rise up yet? Are you pissed off yet? With enough data, the government can spread propaganda through the media that people will almost automatically believe. There's plenty of that shit going on now without them using this daily. Hell, they could be. I don't know exactly if they are, but they probably are. For real, there's enough people who believe all this bullshit that they're probably doing it. In the terms of interrogation possibilities, transcentrical magnetic stimulation can be forced upon individuals to make them believe certain things and say certain things. Perhaps admit to things they didn't commit. Or commit acts they wouldn't commit. Maybe like a sleeper cell. We're going to have some real Jason Bournes running around and shit. The government is literally trying to brainwash you, congregation. This is not science fiction. Technology has made it possible to induce and disrupt cognitive functioning in individuals. In the future, your thoughts may not be your own. They're not now, for most of you. The ones that have been implanted into your brain through extensively successful and validated propaganda. Seriously, folks, rise up, take stock, heart, FEMA. Fucking, it's out there. It's happening now. When are you going to get off your asses and do something about it? At least rise up and come talk to the Reverend. As a matter of fact, the Reverend is going to be out and about live again. Let me check the date here. Give the Reverend a second. Going to pull up the calendar. The 23rd of November, I'll be at the Thirsty Hog with Philip, Luke, and the Repeat Offenders. So you can come see the Reverend live in person. Now before the Reverend goes, friend of the Reverend's Christy would like to remind you it's the holidays coming up. A lot of people like to drink. But let's try not to drink and drive, folks. That can kill people, or even worse, things can happen than death. You know, you can kill somebody, ruin their family, ruin their lives, ruin their family's lives, put them in a wheelchair forever. So before you drink and drive, think about it. Well, it was a good Sunday. Yes, it was. It was a good talk. Glad to be back, congregation.